Welcome back to the channel. So this is the first step, whenever I start up a new song, this is the first thing I have to do, in order to do the one-man band thing, is I get a metronome. First I write the song, decide on an arrangement, and then get a tempo, a BPM that makes sense for the song, is the right tempo for it, and propels it forward. You have to I spend a lot of time usually getting the BPM correct, because this is your only chance to do it, and once you've locked down the arrangement, there's no turning back. So I always try to take my time with the whole BPM thing and make sure I get the tempo correct. This one, I had it at 99. I moved it up one notch to 100 just because when I was playing through the song it felt like I was getting ahead of the beat and wanting to be ahead of the beat, not just playing off, but like needing to be one step forward. So I pushed it to 100. I like the tempo of I like songs that seem to like songs that are in the 100 to 120 range. I have a lot of songs that fall into that tempo. So that's where it's ended up landing. Now, really simple way to get going, in order to record on the Zoom, is I'm going to do it direct. So I go out from my guitar into input 1. And you could go into any of them, but I go into input 1 because it has a high Z input ability. So there's a little switch here. You move that to high Z just because this is a guitar being plugged in with very low output, so you want as much a little bit of boost from that, so that it matches up with what the Zoom is putting out. Then I don't really like the way the distorted guitars sound. Just for this test track, they sound just kind of muddy. So I go to Effect up here, and I'm going to choose Clean, and I went with the Vox Crunch, which is kind of nasty. But it's like an approximation of the 18-watt tone. It's like a British tone. I don't know. It's a personal preference thing. I don't really like any of these that much. Let's see what this one sounds like. I think I'm going to just keep it on here because it sounds a little clearer than the other one did. So that's 00 Z clean. And for whatever reason, that effect is putting out a better signal than the number 3 did. So it's 0 on the clean, and I exit out of there. You're going to want to arm the track, and then if you want to check your level, I'll hit Pan EQ, go to 1724, move it all the way over to the master, and it's on 103. I'll just dial it down to 100 and hit exit. So now I know that the unit is at unity gain. It's putting out exactly, we're at 100 dB, which is like the 0 point on your fader. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. I've got it connected to the PV-KB3 so you can hear what I'm doing. Now, I do have the metronome going, and it plays in the phones, but it does not play in the speaker. And some kind friend of the channel told me how to do that or what I needed to do, and I forgot. I never looked it up. But that would have been kind of cool so that you could hear the metronome. But just know that it is running in my ears, even though you can't hear it. You probably can hear it through the headphone bleed. But I will be, synced up to that 100 BPM, what do you call it, tempo. And the goal is to stay on it. Now, I can make mistakes as long as the song lands correctly, as long as it lands on beat. The guitar could be sloppily played, but remember, I'm making a guide track for drums. So any mistakes here, just continue on. So you want to try to get it, correct as much as you can. It's kind of a pain to do this. It's not one of the more fun moments of recording, by yourself. Okay, so I pretty much got the arrangement locked down in my head. Hopefully I won't make a ton of mistakes, just forgetting the arrangement, because it hasn't been in my mind for that long, and I don't usually play it all the way through at home. It's so boring to do, because it's just kind of a long repetitive thing to sit here and play this, but you have to in order to record the rest of the stuff. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna arm that first track plugged in directly. You'll be able to hear it through there. Got the metronome going at a 100, got everything turned up here, ready to play the riff. I'm in tune. You can always use the tool. You hit the tool button and you can go down to tuner. If you go to metronome, I've got it set at play and record. The level's at 73, the pan is center, and the sound is bell. I have the pre-count off. Okay, so I'm gonna hit record and play. I'll let the metronome go just to get in the groove of it, and then I'll start playing, and then I'm gonna sing a scratch vocal just so I'll know the arrangement, when I'm sitting there playing drums. It'll be like it's kind of like a little finished song, that sits in there when you're done. All right, here we go. This doesn't have any, it's not multi-tracked much, it doesn't have all the other parts, and this isn't played for a take. Obviously we're connected directly in, and it's gonna be sloppy. All right, so here we go. Darn, almost had it too. Okay, so let me just practice that one time. It's like. Okay, yeah, that's how it's going to go. All right, one more time. Here we go. I'm going to undo that, hit record play. Sorry. Ah. It's too what? Sorry. Here we go. Sorry. All right, here we go. Feel like it got off again. Ah, tricky. Sometimes you just psych yourself out a little bit. All right, here we go. Okay, very messy playing. I forgot to mention that the song is in D, so it's tuned down to D. I've been playing a lot in E flat, or D sharp or whatever, but this one's all the way down to D. And I got the idea from my lessons that I'm taking with the Texas Blues Alley. There was a Hendrix-inspired piece that I was working on that's part of the lesson that Anthony put together, and the whole thing was done in D. So I've been working on that, and then started loving the way the string sounds so floppy in D. Like that floppy tone. All right, so let's see if if what I recorded works, because remember the whole point is to get a usable drum, something I can drum along to. And do it correctly so that the song stays, you know, intact enough so when I start doing every part, it doesn't become a disaster. You know, it's got to be at least in tempo enough so that I can start stacking the instruments. All right, so let's see how well this worked. You can hear the metronome. Okay, so as you can see, the playing is, you know, sloppy. It's not dead on, but the guitar is with the metronome. So I'm really going to be focused on that metronome, and just the song is there to make sure I know the changes. I won't be trying to nail the guitar. I'll be trying to nail that metronome, and the guitar is along for the ride. And then once I get those drums down, boom, then you start adding everything else in. It'll be a breeze. This one is not going to be as hard as the last one. There's less stops and starts. There's less, like, it just kind of roll. It's like a treadmill. It has one simple arrangement. Does something different the first time, and after that, the other two times around are exactly identical. The third time is going to be a solo, like a little guitar solo during the verse part. The other two times are just short verses. You're about to see, because I'll do a scratch vocal. You'll get the whole arrangement together. Okay, so next step, I want to put a little vocal on it. Now, the Zoom is equipped with these onboard mics, so you could just turn on track 7 and 8, and you use your gain knobs over here. The mic switches right here, and you just would turn it on, and then lift your levels up and play with the gain knobs and everything. But I find that that's going to sound kind of airy and like, I don't know, distracting. I'd rather just sit here with the microphone. And I've got an SM57. While I was doing that, I plugged it in, and I went into the same input that we were in before. So what do we got to do with that guitar? We got to get it out of there, right? So let's go to swap. Over here, it's the third switch over. It's the fourth switch if you count this tempo one, but it's 1, 2, 3 right here. Now I'm going to select track. It's going to be number 1. And then the other track is going to be number 2. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to do that? Yeah, I'm sure. Alright, so now I've got, if you go to the track button, you'll see new taken 1 and then mono 0, 0, 0 and number 2. So everything's exactly the way I want it to be. Okay, I'm going to go backwards to the beginning of the tune and arm that track. And I'm going to turn my high Z off. I don't need that. Let's see how loud the vocal is. And then we can decide if we need to adjust it or whatever. It's just a scratch vocal. Yeah. Okay, it's not very loud, so there we go. That's something. And the mirror, did you notice me? There's not much power coming into this thing, so I'll kind of have to sing loud. Sorry to make so much gross noise. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty loud. Did you notice me? Me? Ooh, like a razor. Alright, here we go. So, I got the original track will be in number 1. And I'm in number 2, and I'm in number 1 with the vocal. Hey, you know what? Let's do a different effect on the vocal. Sorry about that. I knew that was I had a bad feeling that could happen. Okay, so we'll go to effect, and we're going to go to mic. Yeah. Ooh, like a razor, slash me, cut me up. Ooh, like a razor, Ooh, like. Oh, I'm going to go to big shape, number 26, because it's a very compressed. Yeah. Ooh, like a razor, It's like a very hyped vocal. Almost, it sounds like 2 voices at once. So I'll use that one. It just pops more. Hello, hello. I don't like using it when I sing anymore, but with this SM57 it seems sensible. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's really quiet. Here in the mirror, did you notice me? Okay, I'm going to undo that, go backwards, and I think I'm going to kill the metronome. It's really distracting. No, I'll just leave it on. Like a razor, slash me. I don't know when it cut off, but it did work.
Did you notice
Okay, so next step, move the zoom over to the drums, put the headphones on, and start hammering away. It's time to go to work, because that's really, the whole deal, is recording a really, as good as I can drum track, and then start adding the guitars. So I don't think this is going to be too hard. And if you heard any mistakes as far as the guitar goes, it doesn't matter. The playing was not well executed. The tempo was good. That's the whole reason, and the guitar and the vocal are there just to, mark time and let me know that that's where I am in the arrangement. I'll be following that metronome and trying to drum to that, exactly to that, so that when I go and put the guitar part on, I'll erase I won't have that running anymore. No longer hearing that guitar, and then lay a new guitar to those drums. The drums now become the guide track. Okay, so I'm going to save this by hitting project, and then just go back and hit it again, start it back up. I always do that as a safety, just because I've lost a couple of things over the years. But when I moved to the latest software, that stopped happening, but a couple times lost takes, before I could turn it off, it would freeze up, and if it freezes up before it's turned off or before you save it, by hitting project or something like that, something that says the project is saved, anything you recorded is lost, when you lose power like that, because then you have to reset it by like unplugging or pulling the batteries out or whatever. It's the only way to get it to come back. That has not happened since the latest 1.13, I think, software or firmware, but get burned once, don't make the same mistake twice. Next time.